Every spring, it shows up in your driveway, between the cracks in your patio, along the fence line behind the shed. It sticks to your pant leg when you walk past it, and the grandkids laugh because it hooks onto their sleeves like velcro. Most people pull it up and throw it in the trash. What they do not realize is that the plant they just uprooted has been used as medicine for 4,000 years. Ancient Greek physicians prescribed it. Cherokee healers used it to clean the blood. Farm families in the 1800s relied on it for swollen ankles and puffy fingers. And they certainly do not know that a $35 billion industry right now sells devices, compression garments, and subscription therapies for the exact conditions this plant was traditionally used to treat. The plant costs nothing. It grows on 6 continents. It cannot be patented. It cannot be owned. So it has been classified as a noxious weed, listed on herbicide labels by name. Poisoned every spring in every cereal field across North America. This is the story of a plant that healed people for 40 centuries until an industry found a way to make money from them being sick instead. Welcome to Nature's Lost Vault. The archive opens around 2000 BCE in the palace kitchens of Tel Kabri on the coast of what is now northern Israel. In 2019, archaeologists sifting through Bronze Age deposits found seeds they recognized immediately. Small, round, bristly seeds, about 2 millimeters across. The exact same seeds growing today in every hedgerow from Boston to Bucharest. The plant was already part of daily life in a civilization that would not leave written records for another 1,000 years. In Britain, at a pit dated to the Middle Bronze Age near Stonehenge, archaeologists recovered the same seeds. In the eastern woodlands of North America, laboratory guides to archaeological plant remains record the same seeds at sites spanning from 6,000 years ago through the Mississippian period. Wherever humans settled, this plant followed, and humans used it. By the 1st century, the Greek physician Dioscorides had written it into De Materia Medica, the foundational text of Western medicine, and it would remain authoritative for the next 1,500 years. He prescribed it for skin conditions, for burns, for swelling, and for what he called sluggish fluids in the body. The Greek name was aperine, which meant to seize, to cling, to lay hold of. The Roman physician Galen, personal doctor to Emperor Marcus Aurelius, prescribed it to patients suffering from water retention. Pliny the Elder recorded it as a weight reduction tonic. In 1597, the English herbalist John Gerard called it a marvelous remedy for bites from venomous creatures, and he documented that English women made a pottage of it to stay lean. By 1652, Nicholas Culpeper had established it as a standard household cleanser of the blood. Across the Atlantic, the Cherokee used an infusion of the plant as a laxative and blood purifier. The Chippewa rubbed cold infusions on skin troubles. The Iroquois used it as a wash for poison ivy. The Penobscot prescribed it for kidney trouble. The exact same plant was discovered independently across 3 continents, and it was used for the exact same thing. The English-speaking world eventually settled on one name for it, cleavers. The name comes from the Old English word cleave, meaning to latch onto, to stick, to hold fast. For 2,000 years of documented human medicine, cleavers did one thing consistently. It moved fluids. It cleared swellings. It supported what the ancients called the sluggish humors and what modern medicine calls the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is the body's primary drainage network. It is twice the size of the circulatory system, and it carries waste, toxins, and immune cells through hundreds of miles of vessels and nodes. When it stagnates, tissues swell, ankles puff, fingers thicken, fatigue sets in, wounds heal slowly. Infections take hold. Today, 1 in 5 breast cancer survivors develops chronic lymphatic swelling. 20 million people worldwide suffer from lymphedema. Less than 15% receive proper treatment. In 2016, a team of researchers published a study in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology. They tested cleaver's extract against 2 types of human breast cancer cells. The extract killed both. Triple-negative cells died by apoptosis. Estrogen receptor-positive cells died by necrosis. And the extract spared healthy breast cells entirely. It was published in a peer-reviewed journal, cited by oncology researchers, and never developed into a single pharmaceutical product. In 2020, a Polish team published the first study on cleavers as an immune modulator. Every extract they tested stimulated the transformational activity of white blood cells. In 2024, Korean researchers tested cleaver's extract on animals whose immune systems had been suppressed by chemotherapy. Natural killer cell activity, the cells that actively hunt cancer and infection, had dropped to under 30%. After treatment with cleaver's extract, activity rose to nearly match the healthy control group. A plant that grows wild in every American state, free, in your driveway right now. And the studies keep appearing, but nothing reaches the market, because nothing can be patented. What can be patented is everything else. The global lymphatic drainage device market was valued at $14.6 billion in 2023. By 2032, industry analysts project it will reach $35 billion. Pneumatic compression pumps retail for anywhere from $2,000 to $15,000. Compression garments must be replaced every 6 months under the Medicare reimbursement schedule that took effect in January 2024, when 81 new billing codes were activated specifically for lymphedema treatment. Tactile Medical, Sigvaris, 3M, Huntley Healthcare. These companies sell the machines. They do not sell cleavers. And in the fields, the other half of the erasure plays out. Cleavers is one of the most actively poisoned plants in modern agriculture. It is designated a Class II primary noxious weed under the Canadian Seeds Act, with zero tolerance in certified seed. Corteva Agriscience, the agricultural giant with $17 billion in sales, manufactures and markets herbicides specifically formulated for cleavers control. Zipar, Pixaro EC, Staran XL, Spitfire. Each label lists cleavers by name. Each spring, millions of acres of farmland are sprayed to kill it. The plant that Dioscorides prescribed for swelling. The plant that Cherokee healers used to clean the blood. The plant that a 2024 study showed restores natural killer cell function. Poisoned by name, classified by law, forgotten by medicine. Not because it failed, because it succeeded without anyone owning it. Yet the spring hedgerows of England still fill with it in April and May. The forest edges of New England bloom white with its tiny flowers. The Sonoran Desert, the damp woodlands of the Pacific Northwest, the cool gardens of Ontario, all of them carry it. It rises in the first warm weeks after the last frost, climbs over other plants with its hooked hairs, and reaches for the sun. By June it has set seed, and the seeds scatter on the fur of every deer, fox, and dog that brushes past. Rain works the seeds into the soil. Winter locks them there. And in March, they rise again. The old Welsh country mothers used to gather it in April and hang it in bundles in the pantry. They crushed the fresh green stems into cold water in stone jars and let them steep overnight. In the morning, the water had turned pale green, smelling faintly of cut grass and spring rain. A cup before breakfast for the month of April, and the whole household stayed light. The swellings of winter receded, and the skin cleared. In Sweden, Farmers roasted the small, round seeds in iron pans until they darkened, then ground them in a hand mill. The roasted seeds yielded a brown powder with the bitter, earthy smell of coffee, because cleavers belong to the exact same botanical family as coffee. It is one of only 2 plants in the world that, when roasted, genuinely tastes like it. The old farm kitchens poured it into stoneware cups through the long winters, decades after botanists had documented the practice. Across the Appalachian hollows, the grandmothers passed the knowledge down. A spring tonic, a blood cleaner, a tea for the first warm days when the body wakes from winter and the sluggish fluids need to move again. The knowledge stayed alive in pockets. It never fully died. The plant is still there. In every state, every province, every hedgerow from the Atlantic to the Pacific. It has outlasted every empire that ignored it. And it will outlast the corporations that sell what it freely gives away. Somewhere in the world, right now, in a garden, a forest edge, or a cracked driveway, it is climbing through the green of spring, hooked to whatever it can find, rising toward the light. The same plant that a Bronze Age cook pulled from the earth 4,000 years ago, the same plant that a Cherokee healer gathered in a basket, the same plant that an English grandmother hung from the pantry ceiling. Nobody had to buy it. That, in the end, is why it was forgotten. And that is exactly why it will come back. If this vault opened something for you, subscribe to Nature's Lost Vault and hit the notification bell. Every like and every share preserves what they tried to erase. The next vault opens soon.